Thinking about launching a podcast but overwhelmed by all the moving parts? At Turnkey Podcast Productions, we take the hassle out of podcasting so you can focus on the talk, not the tech. From concept to launch, guest booking to post-production, we handle everything. Need a strategy to grow your show and turn guests into clients? Yep, we do that too. DIY or done for you, we've got the solution that fits. Whether you're just getting started or ready to scale, Turnkey is your behind-the-scenes podcast team. Turnkey Podcast Productions. Your voice, your message, fully produced. Learn more at turnkeypodcast.com/contact. That's turnkeypodcast.com/contact.
The factory of the future will be run by a man and a dog. The man is there to feed the dog, and the dog is there to make sure the man doesn't touch anything. Sounds a lot like this next episode of The Nice Guys Fuckery. Doug and Strick doing a whole lot of nothing.
But then when you take it even bigger picture than that, you got to realize that every person we talk to every day, you and me included, we are telling the story from our perspective.
Oh, yeah,
and
100%.
Our perspective is only whatever we have lived through and learned. We are all unreliable narrators to a certain extent.
I am the most unreliable narrator available.
People assume that time is a strict progression of cause to effect, but actually, from a non-linear, non-subjective point of view, it's more like the Nice Guys on Business podcast. It's all fuckery. Most days, they take their meds. This is not one of those days. Welcome to Fuckery with the Nice Guys. No interviews, no business content, just your two favorite slack-jawed mouth breathers ranting about whatever. Now, strap yourselves in for Nice Guys Fuckery with the kings of fuckery, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
All right, I went right for the record button because I have a feeling that we're going to be quick on this episode. I've already heard that we're going to be quick on this episode.
I've got I have an appointment at Walmart at 6:10 my time.
What the hell is 6:10? What happens at 6:10 your time?
Well, we're going to Pumpkin Patch to pick pumpkins. By the way, welcome back. My name is Strickland Bonner. On the other side of the microphone, Mr. Doug Sandler. And we're doing photos. And so the issue is the sunlight.
Be careful. Photos and you equates to $1,000. That's all.
Well, yeah, no. Well, that's definitely can be the case. Hopefully, that's not going to happen today. But anyway, yeah. So, we've got the whole golden hour thing, right? And so that was the compromise. Like, it would have been better to leave at even a little before 6, so we have time to chill and everything to get there. But that's okay. This was the compromise that we made, and that still gives us 45 minutes of fuckery.
It does.
And hey, I can leave and you can keep yapping if you really want.
You know, and sometimes I wouldn't even know that you're gone. Stuff to talk about. What was I going to say? Oh, so I had a completely open schedule today. And of course, when you have an open schedule, the universe has to equalize things. So they put a few prospective clients and a few clients that have issues in front of me right away immediately. And then they put a whole thing of plans in front of me. So I don't know which one of those we should talk about first. We should talk about how the universe likes to equalize your life no matter what is happening. If you're depressed, it wants to make you happy. If you're happy, it wants to make you depressed. All of the things that go on in life, we are like a microcosm of the entire world. That is what the Nice Guys are.
Well, I just want to get back to possible leads. That's what I want to hear about. I like the sound of that.
So I was introduced by a podcast I was introduced by our publishing client, Greenleaf, to an author. And this author, super, super nice guy. And I did the interview with him. And after the interview with him, I'm like, I really like this guy. I want to have a conversation with him. He's in the restaurant business. He's got a wine thing going. He lives in Northern California, so he's not too far from me. He's got a podcast studio that he's setting up in his house. And I'm like, I don't know. I just felt like I said, hey, Bob, are you open to, why don't I come up there and help you? He's like, the god of podcasting will come up. And I'm like, well, you've taken it a little too far already, but yes, well, why don't I come up there? And then we started talking about like a million other things that we have in common about business and life in general. And so at the beginning of December, after I get home from my cruise with my mom, we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Mhm.
I'm going to go up to Northern California, Modesto, California, to visit my
Nice.
new friend Bob Campana. I'm very interested in this.
Nice. I love that.
So
I love that.
there will be absolutely business in it, but you know what? I need a friend. I really do. I need a friend. And I need a friend that's not like a 30 something person that is kind of like knows everything about technology. I need somebody that's as dumb as I am. and, and
Mm.
and Bob, I don't think that he's dumb at all. I think he's a very wise business guy, but we're all learning. Like AI kind of, I love it, but it scares the shit out of me. I don't know
Oh
about
yeah.
you. I don't know about you, but it does.
I think you use it more than I do. I'm starting to get into it a bit. But what recent experiences have you had that have scared you a bit?
So we're doing a social media campaign for one of our clients, and I think you're engaged and involved in that right now, and helping me resolve the not the issues, but resolve the thing. You basically feed all of this information into AI, and you say, okay, I need 20 social media posts. They're gonna come along with this number of graphics and audio and video, and I need you to put it all together and give me a timeline and actually share the post with the Apple link to promote the episode.
Hmm.
And you hit go, and basically in less than a minute, it gives you all of this stuff. And I'm like, did I just like elbow my way out of a job, or did I just enhance the job that I can do for my clients? That's where it scares me. I'm like, there's got to be a fine line between AI helping you and AI strangling you out of what you're doing right now. Like, don't you feel like could AI do your job with your day job?
No, and that's interesting because we actually have a like an AI trained whatever the hell they call it library
A
thing.
dog.
Yeah, that's
The dog.
internal because we have a lot of
Right.
personally identifiable information that we can't just have shared with
Right.
ChatGPT.
Right.
So I actually had a very complex report thing I was trying to figure out, a problem I was trying to solve, and I punched a whole bunch of information in, and it gave me a couple of ideas, but did not solve my problem.
So
Now, who
for
knows?
you,
As it learns more, maybe, but not right now. No.
so then I have a conversation yesterday with Mark Rampala. Now, Mark is the former founder of Zico Coconut Water that
Oh, okay.
sold to Coca-Cola for $200 million, and 8 years
Jesus.
later bought it back from Coca-Cola because they were having a challenging time with running the company. So he bought it back
Get
under.
out of
How
town.
cool is that? Like, let's say that we sold turnkey to somebody for 2 million bucks,
Mhm.
and the guy that takes it over, or the company that takes it over, they're like, 2 or 3 years later, it's not really our core business. Hey, nice guys, Doug and Strigg, you want to buy this back for 200,000? Like, okay, well, you paid us $2 million for it. You want us to buy it back for 200,000? I think that's a fair deal. We'll take it back from you.
Is
So
okay. Okay, wait a minute. We got to back up a second. He got paid $200 million for the company,
correct.
and then he bought it back from Coca Cola for how much?
Oh, I don't know how much he paid to
Oh,
get
okay.
Coca-Cola, get it back from Coca-Cola, but you know that he didn't buy it at an accelerated rate. You know that he
No.
probably paid a bargain basement price for it because he knows how to run the company. And what he said the second time around, he's involved with a venture capital group. He owns a company that invested in back in Coca-Cola to
Hmm.
buy the company. So he said, I put a better management team together on the buyback than I had doing the job to begin with because of all the experience that I'd learned over the 8 years that I hadn't been CEO of the company.
Nice.
So that's pretty cool. It's like we sell turnkey and we get whatever dollars that we get and we put that in the bank, and then we use that money to invest in other companies is basically what he did.
Damn.
I
Wow.
know. We're
Heavy
the
duty shit right there.
we're in the wrong business. We're in the wrong business. I
Well,
love doing
you
what I
hear from
do.
like the Dax Shepards and the Joe Rogans, and you're like,
Right.
oh, yeah, you can make hundreds of $1 million doing podcasting. No, it ain't that fucking easy, people. Let me tell you. We've been doing it for 10 plus years. We got millions and millions of downloads, and our show just ain't worth that much.
The show isn't worth anything. The company's worth the money, but maybe that's the trick. Like I just got off the phone with a Zoom meeting with Gary Cinderbrand, and Gary has a really good show called If the Public Only Knew. By the way, just a couple things we'll need to wrap up with late. We'll do that tomorrow before I go out of town and go get my mom. But he needs some work done. Anyway, in talking to Gary, Gary's whole thing with his podcast is he's meeting these guys that are worth 500 million to $1 billion.
Wow.
And he's like, I could never have had these conversations with people if I was and he was a financial advisor for Morgan Stanley. He said, they're not going to take my call because they got every financial advisor in the world that's trying to reach them. You put them on the podcast though, and you give them a platform to share their message and their inspiration. And all of a sudden now they want to talk further. So he's had some of these great high level conversations. He's like, Doug, whatever your team is doing to put these guests in front of me, just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
God, I love it when a plan comes together. I mean,
I do too.
Early on, you got to interview Ariana Grande, not Ariana Grande, Ariana Huffington, wrong Ariana.
Right.
And what was the guy from ABC News?
Dan Harris from ABC.
Dan Harris.
Gary V.
Yeah, Gary Vaynerchuk. Yeah.
Jeffrey Gitomer, John C. Maxwell. I mean, who's the guy? The Grant Cardone. I mean, like some of these names, I'm like, who the fuck am I?
What happened with Jeffrey Gitomer? Like, you guys got to be buddies, right?
Well, Jeffrey, I think he had gone through his 5th divorce.
Well, wait a minute. When we met him, or when we were talking to him, right? I never got to meet him in person.
Right.
But he was engaged.
Right.
And we met the woman he was engaged to, right?
And
I don't think I
divorce.
ever met
And
it's done already?
Well, that was Strick. You gotta know that was like 8 or 9 years ago.
Oh my God, was it that long ago?
Yeah, because I was still married to Danielle when I went down to North Carolina to hang out with him because he was in Charlotte, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go visit Danielle's parents while I'm here, and so he wasn't married at that point. I think he got married to Jen a year later, and I think a year after that, I think he got divorced again.
Damn, I liked her too. She was fun. She seemed really nice.
Yeah, but I believe she was like 50 years younger than him.
50? Wow. Okay.
I think she was in her early 30s, and I believe that he was in his early 80s at the time.
He's not that old. Okay, hold on. Now I gotta look this
Look
up.
him up. I bet that Jeffrey Gitomer, I'm going to say he's maybe he was in his early 70s at the time, but he's probably in his early 80s right now.
Okay. No, right now, because I remember seeing video of him, and it's like, okay, he's not a young guy, but he's young at heart, right?
How old is he?
Right now, 79.
Oh, okay.
So
he was
70. Probably still 70 at the time. Okay.
Yeah, but for a 60-year-old, 70 isn't so old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but she was definitely in her 30s when he was in his 70s. So I'm sorry if I said 50. So she was 40 years younger than him.
Okay. Still a lot. Yeah.
And how much younger is your future bride to be than you? 15, 16 years?
16 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
what about you? What's the gap between you and JJ?
Almost 11 years.
And then Danielle, your second wife, how far was the
16 years.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And my first wife she was 3 months older than me. So there is no correlation between happiness and age. That's all I can tell you. Whether your marriage works or not has nothing to do with your age. It has to do with something. I don't really know what it is.
It's funny because I did this search for Jeffrey Gitomer. It says 79 years old. People also ask, is Jeffrey Gitomer married?
And what is his current marital status?
Well, this says married to Jennifer Gitomer.
And when was that?
In 2022, Gitomer put his 17,000 square foot condo up for sale. Is that where you were? 17,000?
Okay. So it's a little bit confusing, the 17,000 square foot condo, because Jeffrey basically owns a building, and in that building is his office and his home. And I believe that he's got 2 condos and his office on the same not on the same floor, but in the same office building. At
the Lance Cracker Factory, is that it?
Yeah, exactly. Is that what it says? Is that where it is?
Yeah, it says he property of former manufacturing facility called the Lance Cracker Factory. Still at the time priced at $12.9 million, the most expensive listing in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Well, there you go. Well, that's what he's known for.
Wow.
So does it
Nice.
say that he is still what marital status currently? Does it say?
This is just Wikipedia, so you can't really trust it.
Oh, I
But
got it. I'm pretty sure he's divorced unless he remarried the same woman. Which I don't know that he would have done that, but
okay, that's enough of
oh,
that.
anyhow, so yeah, so prospective business coming in the door. Of course, I talked to a former client today, and everything happens when you're about to go on vacation, which means
Yeah.
I need to go on vacation a little bit more.
That works for me. So you're going to be going on your cruise. You and I have one more opportunity to record before you
Yes,
leave. So
yes.
the next episode will be a lot about the cruise, I think, because I'm going to want to hear the details.
And I'll also have probably my mom on the show too. I'll get her
I
to
love
sit in the
that.
guest
I
seat.
love that. I think she's made a guest appearance once or twice where we've heard her when you were at her place, but it was very brief. And I totally think we should bring her on and have her have a larger role.
Agreed. Agreed. I think you're right. And I think I got my mom to drop the F bomb during our last
She did. She
hangout.
totally did, which I love. I love. My mom would not do that. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
sure. My mom, she doesn't care.
No,
She
she doesn't care.
does not care.
So you're, hang on. I got to look at the calendar because the day that you're leaving for, like, you'll be at sea, right?
Right, right.
How many days before you are back to land?
Okay, so we leave San Francisco on the 30th, and we have the first time through, we have 5 days at sea.
Oh, okay. So it's only 5 days at sea on the way to Hawaii.
Right. And then it's 4 days at sea on the way back. Either that or it's the other way around. 4 days at sea going and five coming back. I know there's a four and a five. And then we spend, I think, 5 or 6 days circling the islands doing our 5 island stop.
Like one island per day kind of thing.
Right. And I have only been to Kauai, so I don't know any of the other islands, but I do know that we also have we have one excursion that we've booked, the road to Hanalei, which I understand is a very, very beautiful drive. It's almost like an 8 or 9 hour day of driving there, seeing all the sights, and then driving back. Um,
Nice.
it's by a third party, so I'm hoping they make it back to the ship in time, or or
Okay.
we get left behind.
Well, now here's the question. Now, this is very interesting because you're right. Um, when you're booking, excursions with a cruise line, they're like, yeah, book through us. And of course they mark it up because they're,
Right.
making a profit on it.
Right. Right.
But one of the things they say is, look, you book through them, they're going to guarantee that you're going to
Right.
get back on the ship, right?
Right.
If it's
Right.
running late, it means there's 20 or 30 people from the ship
Correct.
and they're responsible. But you didn't book it through the cruise line.
So we booked it through the tour company that we booked the entire trip through, who actually booked the cruise, and we asked that same question, and
Mhm.
they said it's never happened to our company.
Okay.
So if they can't guarantee it, because look,
Mhm.
somebody could get a flat tire, somebody could get sick and need to go to the hospital, and that
Mhm.
would be that. Now they do have a really solid reputation for, if they have years or decades long experience of
Mhm.
never not having a customer get back to the cruise line, I'm going to assume that that's going to be the case. Now, fortunately, the road to Hanalei is not on the last island that we
Well,
go
that's
to.
what I was going to say, right? Like if you don't make it, you can probably catch a little puddle jumper to the next
Right.
island and get back on again, right?
Right. And I don't know who pays for that or how that happens, but whatever. You know what? I'm throwing caution to the wind with this entire journey that we're taking. I mean, you've got to be crazy to invite a 92-year-old onto a 16-day cruise and chaperone this person. I'm going back, this person, my mom. I'm actually flying back to Baltimore tomorrow to go get my mom and her boyfriend to bring them back the next day or a day and a half after that.
Going to be interesting. Now, you mentioned the other day, last night at our meeting, that you're not going to have we won't hear from you. You're not going to have any access for like at least 4 or 5 days. Now, is that because you're not going to purchase the Wi-Fi on the ship and like when you get to Hawaii, you'll check in, or that there is no Wi-Fi on the ship?
No, they have Wi-Fi on the ship, and I guess I could get it, but my understanding, again, last time we went on a cruise was a turnkey cruise, and things are changed, I'm sure, technology-wise since then, and Starlink and all of that stuff. But I remember the frustration factor with the internet every time I've gone on a cruise, that cruise and before, because I've bought the internet package before on other ships that I've been on,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, it's very expensive. and it doesn't perform. So what
Right.
the hell am I going to be able to do from
Yeah.
where I am? I'm going to solve a problem that you can't solve?
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, I'm with you. I'm with
Unless you
you.
need me to close a deal. By the way, you are taking a sales call, Strickland Bonner, on the 30th. I am extremely excited for you.
I know. How exciting is that? That's going to be
So
cool.
Ron, who gave us the lead, he's like, this guy is super nice and he is super primed and ready to go. This should be a layup. I'm
I
like,
love that. I
I,
love that.
he's got a law firm, 17 attorneys, and a lot of dollars in revenue coming in the door, and he is all about wanting to start a podcast. Okay, let's see how many more things that I could have as like grease to the skid of opportunity for us. I'm not counting on a sale, but I certainly didn't want to put him off for 3 weeks, because he'll find somebody else.
No, hell no. Okay, so but I need to get from you before you go,
Hmm.
and you're going to laugh at this. I would like to have some kind of a price sheet to know what to offer him. And
I
I
have
know
no
your
price sheet.
answer is going to be like, well, just offer him something and throw a price in and, whatever. It's like, I don't work like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this will be new to me.
I know, right?
I don't. Okay. Well, what can I provide for you? You know what we do. You just need pricing because you don't need to know what we do, correct?
Correct. I just need pricing to say like, okay, this price package includes this. And if you would like this extra service, it's this. And if I just give me a couple of quick packages. That's what I need. And I know you don't fucking have them because every time you make a sale, it's like, okay, Doug, you're like, hey, just look on the Panda Doc. I'm like, no, I'm not just going to look on the Panda Doc because it never says what you actually sold. And when I look on the Panda Doc, it's like, oh yeah, and I forgot. I actually told him this and I threw in this, but I took out that. And I told him it would be like 40 episodes over a year instead of 52. And it's like, dude, I don't care what you sell. I just need to be clear so I can make sure to deliver.
It's so funny. So let me tell you what I just heard. Let me just tell you what I heard. What I heard was, Doug, you really don't have a pricing guideline, but I need a pricing guideline in order for me to close a deal. And what I was thinking was, well, why do you need a pricing guideline? You can just tell them whatever you want to and make up whatever you want.
Which is exactly why I had to continue with that part of the conversation, because I knew as soon as I asked the question, can I get a pricing guide? That was going to be your answer. And dude, it's like, if I said to you, Doug, hey, I'm going to give you a spreadsheet and it's color coded. Okay. It's color coded, but it's not all in blue.
Oh shit.
All right. But I need you to translate it for me.
Yeah.
I need you to tell me. That would be hard, right?
All right. Well,
our brains work differently, and that's okay.
I will put together something.
Just a quickie something. Just like, here is the base, and this is what's included. If we want to add this service, quote them this. If they want to add this service, quote them this. That's all I need.
Oh, I got it. Okay, well, that's pretty simple. Okay, I got it. There basically is three things you have to remember, and I will write these down for you. One is, how much does it cost to launch a show? We have that price that is set. Okay, that is set as it could be. Then we have I want audio as my podcast, which includes everything, and I want video, and that includes everything for audio and video. So I will give you those three prices, and I will tell you where I generally tend to be a little bit flexible. How about that?
And then how about if we are going to line up guests for them? And if we're going to make it, because it sounds like this could be a client that wants total, complete turnkey. Not only do we line up guests, we do the questions and we're there on the recordings with him, and he has to do almost nothing.
Oh my gosh.
I need that price too.
I got it. Okay. You need ultra full service. You need like concierge.
Exactly.
You need how much does it cost to not have to think to have a podcast?
100%, because that is, you get guys that they see four prices and they either say, I want the most expensive one, or, you know what, the most expensive is too much. I'm going to go one level down. That's what we get a lot of, and I'm okay with that.
Making sure, hold on, I'm writing all these down right now because I'm just trying to make this shit up as I'm going along here.
I'm okay with you making it up as long as you give it to me, whatever you make up before you go.
You said a few things. You said audio and then video, and then you said, and you also wanted to know if we're creating like all of the notes and everything else for them, right?
Well, if I could make a suggestion, what I think that we should do, I think the audio only, like no video at all,
Right.
we should probably toss that out. Everybody wants to post on YouTube now. So, I mean, that could be like our bottom of the barrel, but I don't know that we need to offer that. I could say our base package includes audio and video for YouTube. Like, how about, and it includes basic video edits, which means that we're not going to cut the ums and ahs out. It's just going to be kind of raw.
Yep.
And advanced would be, we can do a more detailed video edit. And there's an option for us to line guests up for you. And then there is the you don't have to do shit version.
Okay. I just wrote down the 5 prices that it could be.
And you're welcome to narrow it to 4 if you want. I just want to make sure I have one that is like, we're going to fucking do everything for you.
Okay. I'll narrow it to 4. I will cut out the low end one because I don't think this client is going to want just an audio podcast to begin with. I think they're going to want audio and video. So I have an audio video simple edit, an audio video more finessed edit, a audio video plus guest acquisition, and an audio video guest acquisition and research for the guests. Okay.
The
questions and all of that stuff taken care of.
Right. Well, that top level is where we're going to schedule it for you. We're going to be there on the recordings. We do everything for you. Okay. Statistically, you'll make the most sales if you have 3 or 4 choices. Fewer choices than that, and people feel like you don't have enough flexibility. More choices, and they get decision overload.
Okay, got it. Launch, that's a price that's separate.
That's
audio video extreme edit, audio video extreme edit, guest acquisition, audio video guest acquisition, research, and live production.
Done for you. Everything is done for you. You just sit back and twiddle your thumbs, keep an eye on your calendar for when to hit the link to Zoom. That's it.
I got it. The dog is there to make sure the man doesn't touch anything. In this case, our host is the man.
Exactly.
we are the dog.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
I got it. You got it. But I am excited to, well, what are you doing then? What are you doing? Are you just going to show up and be the nice guy, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. But I'm gotta let him know when I get there how familiar I am with his business and his industry. And I'm going to ask him, so what is your goal for the show? And then whatever he says his goal is, I will have enough information already to have a solution to solve the problem of whatever his goal is.
Nice. Okay. That's very cool. I like this. I can handle this, and I know that you can handle that side of it. Now, you came at this from a direction of confidence. Last time I think you had a sales call, you were like from a position of hamana.
Well, it's funny because the whole part about like letting the potential client know like how to solve how podcasting can solve their problem.
Right.
I'm really comfortable with that.
Right.
But then when they're like, okay, I'm interested, what are my options? And I know that's the easiest fucking part for you because you just make it up, right? But
I have been making it up for 8 years.
But that's the hardest part for me is saying, okay, well, this is what we have to offer and this is how much it costs. And if they are like, I like that, but it might be a bit high. Like all of that, that's where I get weird.
I don't think anybody ever says that to my face. They just stop returning my emails.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like if you gave this prospective client 4 choices, they're going to make a choice with one of them, or they're going to say, this just isn't for me. Knowing financially that he is not in a position to cheap out because I know I already understand what revenue the firm is doing. I already know how many attorneys he has. I already know all of the stuff that our referral source has provided. It's either going to be that he likes us or he doesn't like us.
Okay. And you're going to send me all that info before.
Yes, I'm going to, as soon as we disconnect at 4:11, I am going to send it to you. So you, at 4:11 my time, that would be 6:11 your time. It will be in your hand so that when you come home tonight, you can have the next 3 days, 6 days, whatever it is, and figure out what happens next.
Much appreciated. I am excited. I want to try to make sale. If I remember correctly, I think last time this happened, I think I made the sale, but then didn't he wig out? Or I don't even remember. Did it actually end up going
I
through?
don't, you know what? It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't even remember who it was, but it was some legal somebody. I don't remember.
So I went into our voicemail box today, and that
Yeah.
voicemail box it was empty. There was nothing in there.
Okay, now you see, I looked at the folder here. Okay, now I'm going to show you here. My Drive Turnkey Podcast NGOB Nice Guys on Business voicemail.
Right.
Now, what does it say for date modified?
Yeah, just a moment, just a few minutes ago.
Right, 4:44 p.m.
Right,
So
but look
are
who
you
the
saying
owner
those are-
is. Look who dropped it in there.
Yeah.
It was me. I dropped him in there. I went and I said I went into the folder that you're looking at right now, and there was nothing in there. This is no work to be done, is what it said in there. And I'm like, no, I think we've gotten some voicemails this week. So I went into Google, whatever it is, Google Phone or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I see 3 calls since last Friday.
Okay.
So I went in there and I copied them all. I downloaded them all, and then I changed the names and I put them in the right order, and then I dropped them in there. I know who 2 of those 3 voicemails are from because I recognize the phone number. The third, I don't know the phone number, so it could be any number of people.
Okay.
So I dropped them in there just about, an hour ago, if not a little bit less.
Right.
So I either forgot to remind Ashley, or Ashley doesn't have it on her schedule of these are the things I need to do this week before they get to record their show.
Okay. So when we started this conversation,
Yes.
I don't remember exactly the words that you said.
Oh, okay.
But you said something like, oh, I guess you were saying there's no action in this folder, the download folder. Because what it sounded like you were saying was, we have no voicemails. And I'm Doug, you have 3 files.
We had no voicemails in there before that 444. So maybe I either said it wrong or you misinterpreted what I was saying. What I was saying was when I went in there were no voicemails. So I knew that wasn't right. So I needed to make sure the voicemails got in there.
Okay, Funkin' fans, I'm going to have to go back and listen to what Doug said, because the words that you said, I interpreted it, and I'm not saying that I'm correct, but I'm saying that the way I heard it, the Bucky sticker.
Talk to Bucky. Talk to Bucky.
Talk to the Bucky. Talk to the hand. Talk to the Bucky. The way I interpreted it, and now, of course, as soon as I get home, I'm going to have to listen to this. The way I interpreted it was that we have no voicemail activity. In other words, we didn't get any voicemails. But what you were saying was, in our personal downloaded folder,
yes,
it had not been done. It had not been handled or taken care of.
I am 100% sure that this is on me, because I tend to think ahead. And in thinking ahead, I just didn't think of the here and now, the words I was using. I just thought you assumed that I assumed you understood what I was talking about. So I just kept
right, exactly, forward. Without actually saying it. Have you my ex-wife used to do that all the time. Kim would do that all the time. She'd make a statement,
right,
like to me, talking to me. It wasn't like I misinterpreted and she's saying it to somebody else, but she would say, "Oh yeah, 27." I'm like, "What?" And she's like, 27. What don't you understand? I'm like,
this happens in my house.
There's no context to that.
It happens in my house.
I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. And what can you like, oh, what I was talking about was that is the number of whatevers that I needed to get to in order to accomplish the goal. And I'm like, were you having a conversation with yourself before you got to me, and then just use that sentence and assume that I heard the rest of the conversation you had with yourself?
Exactly.
That happens to me in this house all the time.
We would get to the point eventually when I realized that this was happening on a somewhat regular basis. She would say something like that, and I would just look at her and go, "Context?"
Yeah. See, so you have a safe word. You have a safe word, right? That's really good. It's like, I have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
Right.
And you realize that I don't know what you're talking about, correct?
Have you heard the term unreliable narrator?
No, but I tell me about it.
I just got a shirt for this. A t-shirt just says unreliable narrator. I love the idea of it. So the idea of the unreliable narrator, let's say you're reading a book, right? And the book is told in first person, right? A main character of the book is telling you the story, basically, right?
Right.
But the idea of the unreliable narrator is that you are getting the interpretation of this book. You're hearing the story from that person, but you're hearing it from their perspective. So if you're reading a book, the presumption is that this person telling you the story is just telling you what actually happened. But if someone is an unreliable narrator, what it means is the story that they're telling you is the way they are perceiving
Isn't
it.
that always the first person perspective? Is the first person ever not biased to any degree? I mean, there's always a certain degree that they're biased, right?
Well, and here's where it gets bigger picture to me that I find interesting is I think probably 90 to 95% of all writers, if they're writing in the first person, they're using the main character as a conduit to tell the story. And they're doing it from a perspective of, yes, this is just this transparent thing. And I have to use this person's voice because that's how words work and that's how stories work, right?
Okay, right.
But there are authors who specifically write because they want the main character to be an unreliable narrator. Right. So when I'm reading the story and the narrator is telling me this woman was fucking crazy, I have to realize, wait a minute, maybe she wasn't really crazy. Maybe he's just lost his mind and he's really fucking tired and he doesn't know. But then when you take it even bigger picture than that, you got to realize that every person we talk to every day, you and me included, we are telling the story from our perspective.
Oh, yeah,
and
100%.
Our perspective is only whatever we have lived through and learned. We are all unreliable narrators to a certain extent.
I am the most unreliable narrator available. I'm telling you, if you think that there is no filter or no other shade that is coming through my words, you are mistaken. I am admitting full out, I can't tell a story without being unreliable. I know that already. Even if it's, short of reading a script, there is no way that I'm not unreliable because I get emotion involved in everything that I fucking do. And I wish, have you ever woken up and you just put a couple of thoughts in your head and you just woke up out of a peaceful sleep and you put a couple of thoughts in your head, no action was taken. And all of a sudden you get like anxious or you're upset or you're mad or on the other side of it, you wake up and you're like excited and you're happy and you're in a good mood. Like nothing happened other than your thoughts came through your brain. And I feel like I'd love to be able to turn that off or have a little bit more control over that because oftentimes I will put myself in a bad place simply by the stories that I am telling myself.
Exactly. 100%. And I think now this is a great opportunity. Jared is trying to get our Funkin' fans to make like suggestions for Steve O'Brien. We need Steve O'Brien to do some unreliable narrator. It doesn't have to, we say movie quotes or something, right? And then twist them. It doesn't have to be a movie quote. Anything that Steve O'Brien could mention or comment about us, like Doug and Strickland, the most unreliable narrators in the world, or who knows? I don't know. But anyway,
I'm into it.
We now have 8 minutes
to
go through 3 minutes of voicemail. So here we go.
Go.
We got a voicemail from Jared. I said a voicemail from Jared. You know a voicemail from Jared. Nobody else will call. We got a voicemail from Jared. Screw the rest of y'all.
Hey, Doug, Jared here.
Oh, you see that? So, first of all, I got the visual.
I see that. I was like, he did not leave enough room in there.
Exactly. I've got the visual up here to say, Hey, Doug, do you see how I've got the voicemail going right over top?
I know, but you told me we have 8 minutes to conclude. I realized that there's only 3 minutes of voicemails, and I don't have 5 minutes of stories, so I thought I had plenty of time to be able to.
I was trying to actually mute you so that when you came back, you would start talking. But I'm not the host.
I've resorted to being a stalker. I just want to let you know that I don't mean to be a stalker, but I've resorted to being a stalker. So remember last week or maybe the week before, I was talking about Simon Fordham. He's the guy that Fordman. He's the guy that has the YouTube videos. I was showing you the videos where there's no words. It's only him working on these old Fords.
Super entertaining.
And I've been trying to reach him because I want to have him on my Ford Mustang and Ford truck show. I mean, that would be great. Perfect fit. I mean, he doesn't need my fucking 3,000 people. He's got 3 million people that are watching his show.
Does he have that many fucking followers? That's crazy.
Well, he doesn't. He has 300 I think he's got 300,000 followers, but like one of his videos has got 11 million views. So it's like he doesn't need me.
Insane.
But I'm like, I don't want to exclude me just because I feel like he doesn't need me, or I never would have landed some big name guest. So I'm looking, and in one of the episodes that he has, he's fixing very close up, which is most of the shots.
Mm-hmm.
He's fixing this carburetor on this old Ford pickup truck. And I can see that he's got a watch on. And when he goes to fix the carburetor, I see that the watch, in the middle of the watch, somebody had personalized his name across the face of the watch.
Nice.
And his last name is not the same as the name of his channel, which was Fordman. Okay, I'm not going to say his real last name, but his last name is not that name. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to look him up, the real name. So I looked his real name up, and it led me to a Facebook page and then an Instagram page. Well, neither one of them he's added a contribution to in a very long time because his YouTube channel is doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere along the way, because I followed his channel, I saw a post by his mom, who is an artist. so you know me. So I'm reaching out to his mom now and saying, hey, I'd love to get Simon on the show. And when you leave a message either on Facebook Messenger or on Instagram direct message, you can tell when they have read your message.
Mm-hmm.
So she's read 2 of my messages, but she hasn't responded. So now I don't know what to do. A third message would seem kind of creepy. I think
Dude, I got news for you. The first 2 messages are creepy, all right? That you are already in stalker territory. And
But I was more like, hey, my name is Doug Sandler. I host a podcast called Ford Mustang and Ford Trucks: The Early Years. Would love to have your son. Don't have any initial contact information. Can you connect us? That was message 1. Second message was a couple days later. I said, just wanted to make sure that you saw this. Here is my email address so that you can see that I'm not a stalker. I didn't say those words, but it was basically those words.
Well, right. That's exactly what you said. You're like, hey, Mrs. Fordham. Hey, by the way, I want to let you know that the fact that I found his real name through a 1-frame name on his watch and then went through his Facebook and through his Instagram. And then I found you. Don't think that I'm a stalker because of that.
I would like to say 2 words. Are you ready? These 2 words, they might set the tone for the rest of any of the subject that we talk about. Those 2 words are investigative reporting.
Yeah, okay. But you're not an investigative reporter, and she is. Yeah, even if he was like a fucking senator, it's kind of like you're stalking the mom of the senator for an interview. I'm sorry, that's just the context of it, the nature of how you found her and got in touch with her.
How okay, if you were me, what would you do if you have no you just let it drop? Like, you really want to have this guy
100% let it go. Don't even think about reaching out, because the next thing that'll happen is you're going to see a restraining order coming across your desk. Okay, all right, here we go. Let's go.
Hey, Doug, Jared here. So, listening to the episode and really enjoyed it. We got to hear JJ. We got to hear Sally. We got you guys. I mean, it was like the whole crew. So, it's been a good episode listening to you guys chat about your visits. Let's see, Strickland's visit to you, and then you guys talked a little bit about when you went down to see Strick, and then just all around background of JJ saying, "Hey, this is great. I get to hear things that you just don't tell me," and it reminded me of every time my wife is with me and I say something to somebody else. She's like, "You never told me that," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah. Well, by the way, this is what happened." Anyways, guys, appreciate you. Love the show, and just wanted to give them a little shout out and say, hey, it was extra special having the visitors. So, all right, fellas, hope you have a great day. See ya.
I'd forgotten that was a really good show last week with Sally on and JJ, and yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, I don't remember any of the content that we brought forward, but I'm sure it was a great show.
Okay, 2 more voicemails. Here we go.
Okay.
Hey, Doug, extra here. Voicemail number 2. Doug, I realized I forgot to call last week and give you the answers to your question about the MR2 that my son owns.
Mm.
And you asked me about the body style. Is it the old body style or the new? And I can't remember the term you used, NA or something like that, but my understanding was it's the older body style. So, and speaking of that, I have currently on a trailer behind my truck driving down the highway a second MR2.
No.
What?
This one's an 86. I could be wrong on that. And same body style as the one he had. And this one does not have a rusted out frame, so he now has the shell to move his motor and transmission into this one. And it is, I believe, a 5-speed. So,
Nice.
so now there's going to be 2 in my driveway when I get home. And my wife's like, I want that one going. I don't want another one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I understand how JJ's feeling
Yes.
with having trucks.
Nice.
All right, fellas. Appreciate you guys. Love the show. And, this one's white and the other one's blue, if it matters. All right, fellas. See you guys.
Okay, last
before just hold. Just
it's
I
6:10. You have a very serious
go.
relationship with time. But
Go.
Okay.
Go.
Doug, Strickland, JD. Hey,
JD.
so y'all are talking, and spatchcock. He spatchcocked chicken or turkey. Actually, I never really cooked it that way. I always had my chicken delivered quartered or halved and just threw it on the grill. But, yeah. All right, have a great day. Bye.
Okay.
All right. Well, I see that you've got to go. We have reached the end of our rope here.
Hey, you don't have to hit stop. You can keep talking as long as you want. But
no, you know what? I don't feel like I can continue on without Strickland Bonner as my confidant next to me. Okay, we'll head out of here for until next week. We'll do it again. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the nice guys on business, I'm Steve O'Brien. And may the force be with them. They need all the help they can get.